Hi, I'm Alex Radcliffe.
And I am Ricky Sarah reviewing
My Singing Monsters, a game from Big Blue Bubble, designed by Jay Cormier and Sun Fung Lim, and this is basically going to be based off the app. There's an app of My Singing Monsters. It's available on Google, it's available on Android, on iPhone, all those things, and they are turning it into a board game. Now, before we get into that, why are you looking like this?
because my monster player looks just like me.
She decided that she wants to dress up like her monster, and I was okay with it. I did not dress up like mine. I apologize in advance. Sorry to disappoint you. But with that said, the goal of My Singing Monsters ultimately is to get the most points. You're going to be earning gold in this game, which you're going to be earning on this track. And the general turn structure, you want to cover the general turn structure?
Yes, the general turn structure is you play a card from your hand to one of the islands. You activate the island to get what it does, and then you take the elements of your monster and place them on your board, and then get the monster that emerged.
Correct. So, for example, let's say we wanted to go ahead, if you were Ricky, and you have Noggin over here, let's say you want to go ahead and place Noggin. Let's just go ahead and place Noggin over here on this island. So when we place Noggin on that island, we're going to go ahead and take one of those elements. Let's find one of those rocks.
The element that you place.
We're going to place it onto your player board on one of those two icons over there. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and take back a matching monster. So we're going to go ahead and find the two element monsters over here with the specific element that we want, which is going to be water and rock. You're going to add that to your hand. So we got a merged monster from those two elements.
Log.
And then lastly, you can do the islands ability, which in this case is to take one of those cards. That's the basic turn structure. Play a card, activate the island. Well, play a card, activate the island, take the elements, and create a monster if you can. Now, you can't always create a monster. When can't you create monsters?
When your entire hand consists of 2 3s or 4s, and you don't have a single basic monster.
Well, basically, the specific situation where you can't create a monster is if you go and take Noggin, go ahead and take Fwog, and put Fwog down somewhere where you can't create a new monster. Like so. So if any of the elements match the opposing monster you have on the island, in this case they both have water, you don't get to create a new monster this time. You're going to go ahead and do the rest of the steps. You're going to still take the action of the island. You're still going to take those two elements, putting them on your board. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. So you're going to take those two elements, a water and a rock, and you're going to put them down on your board. And then lastly, what you're going to do after that is at the end of your turn, rather than generating a regular monster, you will take a regular single element starting monster from the board instead of one of the higher elements. So you're constantly trying to build up and combine these monsters into better and bigger monsters that you can more quickly generate music on your card in order to basically win the game. Because the point of the game is, when you're done filling up your card, Ricky, what happens?
Then, if you finished it 100%, you get bonus point. If you don't, just get the points for all the spaces you filled.
Yeah, so for example, if Ricky had just finished that card over there, if she had completed 3 spots, the black spots are mandatory, the gray spots are optional. So she went and she filled both blacks and a gray. She completed her card, so she's going to go ahead and earn 3 gold. But because she didn't complete all her spots, she's not going to get that extra bonus gold. So that's going to be the general turn structure. You're trying to earn gold by completing music cards. When you're done with the music cards, you'll go ahead and take another one, either a hard or an easy one. Now, speaking of which, this is a good time to mention a few things. First of all, prototype. Everything you see here is prototype, from the components, the rules, everything we're up to. This is very much a prototype. Link down below to the Kickstarter. This will be on Kickstarter or is on Kickstarter, depending on when you watch that. But everything you see here is very much in that prototype stage, not complete. Secondly, and this is something we didn't really touch upon, this game has escalating difficulty to the game. So the game basically has 5 difficulty levels. The first difficulty level is going to be 1 island. You're going to have the gold track and 1 island, and that's all. Play to 1 island, rinse and repeat. You'll have 2 spots to play your monsters to, a lot more limited in the scope of what you can do. But from there, you can add to the difficulty level of the game by adding islands 2, 3, 4, and 5. In other words, you can tailor this game to the people you're playing with to allow them to play at the difficulty level they want. So for example, even these easy and hard music cards, that's going to be a difficulty thing. It's going to be one of those things that gets added as you add different islands. Do you want to go over what the islands do, Ricky?
Yes. The island number 1 with Noggin has a little pool. So if you get an element, but it's not on your card, but you don't get it on your card.
So if Ricky goes ahead and generates an air right now, but there's no air on her card because those elements are out of line,
then
you put that air.
I put the air over here, and the next person that goes there can take all the elements that they can actually use.
Yeah, so Planet Island becomes an overflow for elements that can't be utilized, but when you go there, you can grab elements that went into the overflow. Next island?
Yes. Next island, the My Singing Monsters Toe Jammer Island. This one gives you little add-ons that do certain things, and give you certain elements to put on your tracker board.
Yeah, so this element's going to give you cards that give you passive abilities. Effectively, so you're going to earn a card that when someone else in the game does something, you can put an element on that card and then use it. So they can constantly be earning you elements on other people's turns. Yes. Now, the cards are going to cost you nothing for the first one, 1 gold, in other words, a point for the second one, 2 gold for the third one, etc. So they become more and more expensive, but they can earn you a lot of points. You want to cover that island? Treat Island?
Yes, Treat Island.
It's not the name, but we're calling it.
I feel like it should be the Potbelly's home.
Okay.
That Treat Island gives you a treat token, which can be utilized to... I forgot.
When you play one of these cards, you can give up a treat to get an extra copy of the element you got. So when you played Frog over here, you could have given up a treat to get an extra water or an extra rock.
I would probably choose an extra rock.
Music Island, again, not the name.
Yes. Music Island gives you one of these tokens. Either a... What's this
So I don't remember what the names are, but they're
going to... No, the section.
The section. So one of the sides of that music token is going to be allowed to cover up your spots, enabling you to more quickly finish your music cards.
Yes, that's this one. Like, it stops an extra beat, because this is music.
Yeah, and the second side, what does the second side do?
I don't know.
The second side lets you move up your beat things up or down to be able to more easily change your positioning to get what you want. That's going to be the Music Island. Then we have Diamond Island. I think that was your favorite.
No, it wasn't.
No, well, what do you do in Diamond Island?
Diamond Island, you get a diamond, and you can place it on your board. There's a bunch of active options, like you can take in element token that is not on the board if all is fine.
Yeah, your diamond board's going to give you like 5 or 6, actually 6 different options to do. Most of them are going to be a combination of some different small facets from these different islands, like taking a tree token, things like that. But you're going to slowly fill up your diamond island by putting diamonds down on that board and being able to earn those benefits. You're going to basically rinse and repeat until someone eventually got to 35, or someone else who crossed 30 points, at which point game end is triggered. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and, well, finish off the round and see who gets the most points. Are you doing the beat? Boom, 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 boom. So, Ricky, what do you like about My Singing Monsters?
The fun little cute part of it.
Which is what specifically?
You're placing cute little monsters.
Yeah, that is fun. I mean, so to begin with...
I also like this little cupcake.
Yeah, you are going to be generating monsters as you play. So you're playing out a monster. So Ricky earns a frog. But then when she plays the frog, she wouldn't have actually played it on that island. She'd rather, maybe she plays the frog over here. And now she earns a 3-element monster. So we're going to go ahead and grab that.
Maybe it's a rare.
Maybe it's a rare. Is it a rare? No, it's not the rare one, unfortunately.
Let's look for the rare one. I want to see what
you want the rare one
pommel is.
So we're going to find the rare pommel, apparently. Here's going to be the rare pommel. Here.
Yes, and let's show them the way.
You go ahead and show both.
Quick. Normal? Wait, no.
You can do the top camera too.
Normal and rare.
Yeah, here. You gotta do the top camera like this. So normal and rare like so. That's gonna be normal and rare pommel over there. Yep. And the rare is gonna give you additional things like, for instance, you can discard it to go ahead and move up 2.
Little castle land.
And you can move up 2 on the gold track.
Or 1.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the card. Depends on the card. So yeah, so you're going to be constantly generating into higher and higher different monsters with more and more elements on them. So as you go, it becomes more and more of a puzzle of trying to figure out where can you most efficiently go, that you can combine upwards into a higher element, that you can use the island that is most beneficial to you at that moment, because different islands will be beneficial at different points. Sometimes you need music to move things around. Sometimes you want to go to Plant Island because it's a perfect combination of things that you need to fill your board. And then it's things like that. Anything else you don't like? Anything else you do like? Sorry.
I like how I actually understand what to do, but in the app, I go on it, I just see monsters dancing around and have no clue what I'm supposed to do.
So you're not a fan of the app?
Yeah, the app. So the app is basically just scrolling around the screen, listening to different music.
Yeah, I think your brother was more a fan of the app.
Yeah,
he played it for a while.
He actually plays it. I have never played it. I've just accidentally tapped on it because I was interested.
Gotcha. But in terms of the board game, anything else? Nothing specific?
No, so, I actually do like how instead of just saying rare on the rare epic on the things, actually epic is always epic. There's no more.
Sure.
There is different types of monsters. I can give an example. We already gave the example.
Yeah.
And I also want to see. I want to make the combination for this.
Cool. Yeah.
Let's see. It's an air rock and plants, I believe.
So for myself, in terms of things I like or don't like, well, things I like first. So yeah, like you said already, I like the combining of monsters in the game, of trying to figure out where to put your monster to most efficiently level up. Because if you reset to a level 1 monster, you're not able to do as much because you're not earning those epic monsters. And also you're only getting 1 element instead of 2, 3, or 4 at a single shot. I like the puzzle of trying to figure out which island to go to at the right time to most efficiently do things. I would say I arguably most prefer the music island as my favorite island, because the ability to move your card up or down can really be incredibly situational. Combine that with taking advantage of Plant Island to get a bunch of tokens, you can get a lot of manipulation out of that. But also the Card Island. The Card Island is constantly giving you cards that you can be earning things on your opponent's turns, so you can get that as well. And then Treat Island as well, flexibility, because you're constantly going to have cards that are going to have 2 elements in them when other rows have 1, so you need to get that element more often, and treats are a great way to do that. And then Diamond's going to be a bit of a catch-all, letting you do a bit of everything depending on where you go on your board. Past that, the game doesn't overstay its welcome. It probably plays, depends on the player count for sure, but it plays roughly in the range of 30 to 45 minutes for a game. It's pretty quick. People can quickly escalate to 30 points, especially if you're doing some of these hard music cards. You're going to be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7 if you do the whole card. 7 points in a single shot. That's not a lot of cards before you get over here. So in a single game, depending on whether you're going with easy or hard cards, you're going to be completing anywhere between 5 to 10 cards max, and you can get through those pretty quickly, especially as elements start combining up on Plant Island, as you start getting higher and higher monsters that are just generating 3, 4 elements in a turn, plus discarding extra monsters to get those extra coin bonuses over here. Anything you don't like about the game?
Let's see. I don't like how these are plain wooden. I really hope they'll fix that.
I don't know. So this is prototype art.
I want to ask them that. I want to ask them if they can have actual figurines instead of just wooden things with stickers that cut off.
I'm 90% sure. I could be mistaken, but I vaguely recall seeing from the Kickstarter page, I'm 90% sure that there are miniatures for the Kickstarter.
Yay!
I think. I'm not certain, but I think so.
Yay!
Anything else you don't like?
I don't like how the only currency is points.
I
wish there was multiple currencies.
I mean, you could argue the elements are currency. It's not really a currency. I hear you.
It is currency. You pay with it. Paying with something is with something you pay with is currency.
So the elements go over here. So then you have elements and points. That's what you would have.
But the points are what you pay.
Oh, you don't like giving up points for things?
Yeah, I don't like to. If I want to work to more points, I have to give up points, and I can't just give up something like a gem.
I hear that.
Like, I wish there were 2 types of gems, one for this board and one for currency.
Yeah, for myself, there's going to be a few small things. First of all, and this is something that I don't know if it'll be fixed with the final version, I didn't love constantly rooting through the piles of cards to find the one with the right combination of elements. Now, I know that they're going to be having some sort of a monster manual, monster book, where you can flip through and find things, which should make the process a lot easier. I don't know exactly where that will end up in terms of the accessibility in that sense. But again, I didn't like what I currently have, but what I currently have is not the final version, so it's a bit of a caveat. But even with a book, you're still going to be flipping through trying to find, well, I need the element that has, the leaves, the water, and the air. So there's still going to be some rooting around, although it might be a lot more accessible with whatever solution they have in the final game. I would have liked to see the art on the islands kind of meld into a singular area. Now, they are different, distinct islands. They're each a different island, but it ends up with this feeling of the board. It just, I feel like I'm just have 6 different things here. It doesn't feel like I'm playing with a singular game board. I would have loved to see some sort of artwork that would intertwine the different things. I mean, you can look at the box and you can see how they basically have all these colors meshing together in a singular picture. I would have loved to see the edges of each thing mold so that when you put it on the table.
I see how that would work.
Yeah.
Like how this all rockiness would slowly melt into getting grassier and grassier. This would kind of continuously have that picture on it instead of just the background.
And it's not essential by any means. I just think it would have been nice to make it feel more like a cohesive board as opposed to 6 different boards. Past that, anything else I didn't like? Let me see. I like the going up the track. I like the combining of the monsters. I would say the only other thing I didn't necessarily love, I didn't love the Diamond Island. Felt kind of like a catch-all extra. I like the other islands. Plant Island's essential in terms of the way it works and generates things. The card tableau building, I love. The treats can be very useful for getting those extra tokens. And the music, like I said, gives you a solid puzzle. To me, I didn't love the Diamond Island. It kind of felt extra and didn't necessarily add to my experience.
That's kind of like the most basic of all the islands.
Yeah, I would have loved to see something else there.
They were all out of ideas, so they just picked random thing.
Could be.
They were all out of ideas, but they still had to make another island.
So overall, I would have loved to see something a little bit more cohesive in this 5th island over here. But past that, I would say the only other thing, I think those would be the main things I didn't like. What can you see others not liking?
They might not. Well, the game boards might be warped, but that's not in ours.
So-
it might happen though.
Oh, are you saying it might happen?
It's very common to have warped game boards.
Yes. So
It's
I think
very
we're
common.
talking about Adventure Tactics, and you have that in your mind.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just talking about
Well, so-
how like 10 times.
So to clarify, we
often
don't
have wooden boards that
But
kind
we
of
don't have warped boards over here, and
Yeah,
even if we
but
did, this
it
is
could
a prototype.
probably-
Past that, as far as things I can see others not liking,
Well, they also probably won't like scrolling through that. It's really
well, that goes into the category of what we didn't like. Yeah.
I know, but it's still something that we might not see others not liking.
So as far as things I can see others not liking, to begin with, the main thing is going to be the game weight. This is a lighter game. This is going to be a game that, especially because they have like those 1 to 5 levels. I mean, like Ricky and I played on the 5th level because we play a lot of games. We don't need to play at the level 1, 2, 3, or 4. I can't imagine at least for ourselves, I can't imagine playing at a level 1, 2, as it was, even with all 5 levels, it's still on the lighter side for us, just where we are as gamers. So depending on who you are or where you're at, that 1 to 5 thing is either great because it's looping you in, it's accessible, it's making the game easy to jump into, or alternatively, it's taking a light game and just making it even lighter. So that's going to very much depend on where you are and what you're looking for. But understand, this very much is a lighter experience. Anything else? Oh, art. I would say the art is from My Little Monsters, the app. My Singing Monsters, the app. And so the art is bizarre and weird and silly. I like it. I think it's whimsical and fun. But if you're not familiar with the app, if you haven't seen the game before, then it might be off-putting.
It's still funny.
Yeah. And then, I have one more thing that I didn't like.
What?
And this is kind of it's kind of a joking complaint, but also real. I want music with this game. I want, like, the app
Yes,
has...
I don't want to have to make the music.
Yeah, you don't have to make music. I've insisted on making music the entire time we played.
Also, it's going to get annoying if you have to constantly sing it, because that's going to get stuck in your head for the entire day, and you're just going to be humming it to yourself.
And speaking of getting stuck in your head, My Singing Monsters has ridiculously addictive beats. These monsters are all creating a little melody by themselves. Bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. You have all these single.
Weird, it's annoying, yet that's strangely satisfying.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. My Singing Monsters, the music from the app is annoying yet strangely satisfying, and I would have loved to see it implemented here. Now, it is implemented thematically in the sense that you're creating music, which is going to earn you the gold in the game. And that's what you're doing in this game.
But I would like for each card to have like a little noise button, so you can actually you don't have to guess what the noise.
It kind of would have been
is.
cool if you had a QR code. Every time you generate a new monster, you could like add a beat to the QR code, and then you have your phone. Every time you do something, you're adding to your beats in the game. I just think it would have been cool to add. Completely unnecessary mechanically, but this is a game that I actually think of the music whenever someone says My Singing Monsters. I would have loved to have that in the game.
Yeah.
Which brings us to score and final thoughts.
Yeah, but I didn't get to say about my opinion on there. My opinion on the art is a mix of weird, not very good, cute, and funny.
Okay.
It's a mix of all those, like how Toe Jammer is kind of gross.
I like Toe Jammer. He's one of my favorites.
I know,
I like
but
Noggin.
it's just
Noggin's my favorite.
But Noggin's funny, and my little guy is super cute.
Cool. So, final thoughts and score. What do you rate this one?
My score 3 out of 5. It's a good game, but not really one I would ask to put out.
Okay.
I actually really grew on it since we played it. I actually kind of grew on it a lot.
So you want to play it more now?
I do want to play it more, but it still remains a 3. Because it's a good game, but there are definitely lots of better games I would rather play.
So I don't disagree with you. For me, it's actually made a little lower. For me, it's a 2 out of 5. Now, my rating system is down below, but effectively, practically speaking, this isn't a game I would ask to play with anyone. Now, if Ricky wants to play it, I'm totally down to play it. If someone else says, hey, if one of my kids wants to play it for a family-friendly situation, 100% I'm down to play it. I did enjoy playing it, and I'm happy to play it when they ask. But gameplay-wise, it is very much on the lighter side, which is going to be great for people who are jumping into games, great for people who are coming here from the app. For myself personally, it was too light for what I'm looking for, which means I'd only really play it when asked to by my children. Yeah. So that's basically it. And so,
my final thoughts.
Final thoughts, go ahead.
My final thought is it's kind of, some of them are kind of interesting. Some things on it are kind of interesting.
Sure.
Like how there's a desert like how there's like a deserty landscape, but it has a pastel rainbow sky with a cute little cupcake on it.
It's almost like these fictional worlds don't subscribe to the rules of our reality.
No, it's like they're taking a mix of dreary, pretty, and cute, and then putting it all together in one thing. It's kind of weird.
Do you like it or not so much?
I really like how it comes out, but it's still kind of confusing
Cool.
to have a bunch of weird things. And also, I would kind of hope that there was like specific islands for everything, because like Tweedle goes on this island.
I mean, they have a lot of cards. You may have the islands they have to have.
No, the starters.
Oh, the starter.
Mayamit goes on this island. Toejammer, I actually probably here.
Probably. Could be. And then Noggin's probably over here, and Potbelly's probably over there.
Yeah, Potbelly's over there.
Yeah. Cool beans. Okay, great. So, that's going to be our review and thoughts and all that stuff of My Singing Monsters. Link down below. Check out the Kickstarter. And until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe.
And I'm Ricky.
And have a good one. Cool. Good job.
Boom.
Bum, bum.
Bum. Ba-dum.